Welcome back to the Payment Shed podcast. Today we are joined by Riya Jagetia, CEO and co-founder of Socratix AI. Tell us a bit more about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Riya. I am the co-founder and CEO of Socratix. We started about 6 months ago, but I've previously been in the fraud space for the past 4 years, building solutions at DoorDash, and before that on the vendor side at Unit 21. I realized that fraud teams deal with a lot of manual reviews, a lot of manual workflows, and wanted to build an AI solution that helps them basically lighten the load of what those teams have to deal with.
Fantastic. And the industry, as we know here at Money20 as well, is full of tools that use AI to assist teams, right? What does AI mean to you when it comes to, instead of kind of creating dashboards after dashboard, but really helping businesses not have to go through all that manual labor?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I think that's why we really frame our solution as AI coworkers, because we don't just want another tool that people have to take a look at and get information from and then action on. We really want to build something that can work next to our customers, action for them, bring them new insights, stitch together information from different sources, really acting like an assistant rather than just another tool that you have to check every day.
I think we see it quite often, right? Businesses, fintechs and banks roll out what they think is a new product internally. It takes 2 years for them to really roll it out, and by the time it's live, it's already behind the times. Where do you think you guys, with AI, I'm going to assume that it's updating all the time and always getting more intelligent?
That's a great point. I think that's one of the ways that our solution is different from traditional dashboards or tools. It's constantly evolving, constantly changing and updating based on human input, but also new data. So suppose you bring in a new vendor, and that vendor brings you more data that's useful. You would usually have to update a dashboard, update your logic, your rules to make sure it's taking that into account. Our AI agents can just learn from what your analysts are doing to make sure it's acting the same way.
Makes complete sense. And when we go and speak to most businesses that I have, when trying to put new products and roll out new products across their teams, the issue we normally have is the challenges that come with it and the dread, right, of having to roll out a brand new product. What are your thoughts on the way that the AI is going to roll out compared to how it is maybe being rolled out in fintechs and banks today?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I think that was one of the things we wanted to make sure was a major differentiator of what we're building versus what potentially legacy customers are asking banks and fintechs to do. So we don't say, send us all of your data into our platform, do a really long integration, and then we have all the bells and whistles on top. Instead, we plug into customers' existing systems. So we have a proprietary kind of infrastructure that we've built that allows us to get customers up and running in a matter of days. We have kind of custom connectors, and then we just work with their existing tools to complete workflows the way that a person would.
You mentioned prior to us recording around how quick it is for businesses to get live and running with you. I'm assuming that's going to be a big differentiator for you as a business, right? Because you're doing a lot of the heavy lifting on their behalf.
Exactly, it's a huge differentiator because, like I said, our first customer was live within 3 days. Most of our customers are live within a week at most, and that makes a big difference because they can test out the solution, look at the results before even entering into kind of a long-term agreement, and that makes a world of difference.
I bet. So, we talk about AI investigating fraud, and I think here at Money20, I probably spoke to 3 or 4 businesses that are changing the world, right? When it comes to AI, it's risky, right? And we all know that. How do you think you provide comfort to the risk teams and maybe people that are seeing sometimes the glass is half empty as opposed to a glass half full?
There's basically 2 things that we do. So the first is we allow them to have human-in-the-loop controls for any high-risk workflows. They could do it for all of their workflows. So what customers usually do is for the first couple of weeks, they'll have humans review every AI agent output before it takes an action. And then they usually say, can we please have the AI agents automatically start to take action because the accuracy is really high. And at that point we say, yes, we can definitely take action automatically for you, but just like you would for a person, we want you to have QA QC. So maybe 10% of the AI agent reviews every week, someone else takes a second look at, just to make sure that as your patterns change or as your risk appetite changes, our AI agent is reacting appropriately.
Makes sense. Thank you very much. So what are your thoughts so far on Money20? We know it's an incredible event, 13,000 people. It's a lot to take in, right? How have you found it so far?
It's been amazing. I feel like AI is the name of the game everywhere. AI and probably stable coins. And so I think what's been really interesting is trying to dig a step deeper or a level deeper with customers to figure out what do they actually mean when they say AI, how is it actually being used, what are the measurable results, because I think ROI is so important when you're deploying new solutions, and yeah, it's been fun to see, you know, all the information that customers here or companies here have to offer.
Fantastic. And last thing here on the Shelf of Shame, we love it here at the Payment Shed podcast, talking about really what grinds your gears. Tell us a little bit more about what really gets to you here in the payments and fintech industry.
Okay, so I think I'm really in the fraud space, with like the fraud and compliance space, and there's this term that was coined maybe 5 or 6 years ago called FRAML. It's fraud and AML, and that really grinds my gears because I think it's so important when you're developing products to have a really clear definition of what every team does and what they care about and what their motivations are. And fraud and risk and compliance actually are 3 completely kind of separate workflows with separate motivations. So it really grinds my gears when people try to combine them all into one, because then you're just not understanding the customer super well. So, you know, if I could change the world, I would say let's start talking about these 3 teams separately, even if they use the same software, so we deeply understand their needs, their concerns, and what to build for them.
Fantastic. So we need to retire the word FRAML.
Retire that, just say fraud, risk, compliance, or AML, and be really clear about what you're solving for them and why, and what their return is.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you so much.